Coming up on Night Vision News, Wartburg College has crowned their homecoming king and queen.
Professor Sam Stapleton is stepping into his new role as director of Wartburg's Chamber Orchestra, Commerce Striker.
And the Wartburg College football team prepares to face off against Nebraska Wesleyan University for homecoming. This is Night Vision News.
Good morning and welcome to Night Vision News. I'm Alexa Ganzeveld.
And I'm Courtney Moser. Thank you for joining us.
It's homecoming week here on campus, and last night, Wartburg students selected this year's homecoming royalty. Last night, at the conclusion of Castle Capers, Wartburg chose their homecoming king and queen for 2019. The king was former student body president Josh Voigt, while the queen was Sam Fobb. Both in their fourth year, Voigt is a journalism and communication major, and Fobb is a religion major.
Wartburg College has 15 music ensembles on campus, but one of them has a new leader. Night Vision News' Rachel Green has more.
Wartburg's Chamber Orchestra, Commerce Striker, was left without a conductor following the resignation of Dr. Jacob Tews at the beginning of August. When students found out, they found themselves in a state of disbelief, like student president of Commerce Striker, Gabrielle Way.
We were all kind of like in this state of like, okay, what do we do? How do we prepare for this?
Luckily, Professor Sam Stapleton was available to take on a new adventure. Stapleton has spent time in many ensembles, having played violin professionally for 16 years. From creating and adapting orchestral ensembles in Boston, to conducting at Central College and the University of Iowa, his variety of abilities has prepared him for his new position at Wartburg.
Honestly, I really like the diversity of things they have me doing. It's kind of what my life's, it's very fortuitous in a way that the job that was needed to be filled here perfectly kind of lines up with my skills, violin, teaching, conducting. So, I mean, I think it worked out very well for everybody.
Commerce Striker, a group so tight-knit they consider themselves family, is enjoying being able to bond with their new member.
As we get more into rehearsals, we kind of see the fun side of him, and we get more personal tidbits about him, so we're getting a little bit closer.
And Stapleton happily says the same.
Well, I'm just really pleased to be here at Wartburg. I'm just really impressed by the community here and feel lucky to be a part of it.
There is surely an exciting year ahead for Commerce Striker. Reporting for Night Vision News, I'm Rachel Green.
Commerce Striker's first performance of the year is November 2nd in the Wartburg Chapel.
Wartburg Campus Security released its annual security and fire safety report earlier in the month. The report details the general duties of Wartburg security and contains a table of criminal offenses reported during 2016, 2017, and 2018. The incidences are then divided across their geographic location. One of the largest criminal offenses, according to the report, was disciplinary referrals for liquor law violations. Across the 3 years, there were 264 total violations. Students can view the report on info.mywartburg.edu. The report was also sent out via the Juice.
A Wartburg College professor was honored during the homecoming festivities with a generous donation by alumni. Wartburg biology professor Stephanie Towring-Peters was inducted into the newly established Dr. Richard L. and Sandra K. Wall Professorship in Biology yesterday. Towring-Peters joined the biology faculty in 2005 and works to advance the environmental science, neuroscience, and public health programs. She also advises the pre-medical, pre-optometry, and pre-nursing students. She received her doctorate in biochemistry from Stanford University. Regarding receiving the professorship, Towring-Peters said, "It is truly an honor to be selected as an endowed professor. It is even more meaningful to have the gift come from an alum's as in a way to recognize the role Wartburg played in his career. This position will allow the chair of the biology department to continue our tradition of successfully challenging and nurturing our students. It recognizes the importance of strong leadership in shaping a department and continuing to be innovative in our teaching and responsive to the needs of our students."
Wartburg Homecoming is in its midst with activities for students and alumni all around. One thing Wartburg students had the chance to do was decorate windows with the theme Back to the Burg. Students were able to vote, with the winner receiving a cash prize. Activities today include business career panels, a best shot golf tournament, social work alumni panel, and the dedication of cross sculpture outside of the chapel.
When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at some stories from the political world. Stay with us.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Last Friday, a climate strike at Iowa City's Capitol took place. The cause of the strike was University of Iowa's use of coal plants to power their campus. The strike started at noon and consisted of an 11-minute sit-in and speakers, including activist Greta Thunberg. Thunberg has been going across the United States, stopping at different cities to join climate strikes taking place across the country in a movement known as Fridays for the Future. Thunberg spoke about the current climate crisis and thanked the Iowa City youth for striking. Thunberg visited Standing Rock earlier in the week and is set to visit Denver today.
In political news, the ongoing impeachment inquiry is putting pressure on the president. A survey revealed that 58% of Americans support an impeachment investigation against the president due to his potential involvement with Ukraine investigations against former Vice President Joe Biden, according to the Washington Post and George Mason University. In spite of this mounting pressure, the Trump administration has no intention of complying with an investigation with the president dismissing the claims. Many lawmakers in Congress still have mixed feelings regarding the nature of the claims against the president, with some being in favor or others being against the decision. Others still think it is too soon to make a decision.
It was a perfect call. It's just a scam. This is a scam by the Democrats to try and win an election that they're not going to win in 2020.
Let's get the facts and put all the facts out, not only in front of the House, potentially in the Senate, but we don't know that yet, but certainly in front of the American people.
This is a developing story, and Night Vision News will continue to bring you updates over the coming weeks.
Vice President Mike Pence made a stop in Iowa this week. The vice president landed in Ottumwa, where he was greeted by Governor Kim Reynolds and Senator Joni Ernst. During his visit, Pence spent the majority of his time addressing the USMCA, or the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, which is of great concern to Iowa farmers. He also answered questions about the current impeachment inquiry and the investigation into possible dealings with Ukraine. Pence vigorously defended the president and took some time to sign autographs.
Impeachment proceedings against President Trump are being addressed by both sides of the political aisle. Candidates for president from the Democratic Party are beginning to prepare for the fourth debate of the year. The debate will be held on October 15th in Ohio. 12 candidates have currently qualified out of the 19 still in the race. Former Vice President and current Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, while campaigning in New Hampshire, called for President Trump's impeachment for the first time.
To preserve our Constitution, our democracy, our basic integrity, he should be impeached.
Tuesday's upcoming debate is set to be the biggest presidential primary debate in history, according to the New York Times.
Wartburg West students were treated to a surprise yesterday as it began snowing, but only for a short time. However, we're not out of the woods yet here in Iowa. Signs of snow have not been uncommon this fall across the Midwest. For example, Bismarck, North Dakota was treated to a genuine snowstorm on Thursday morning, which resulted in dozens of car crashes. Additionally, a number of flights at the Bismarck Airport were canceled or delayed. The storm could upset snow total records throughout the Dakotas, as they are expecting as much as 2 feet of snow by tonight. Looking back to the Waverly area now, I suppose we better take a look at what our chances are for snow in the coming week. Over to you, Alexa.
All right, we're starting off today with a high of 43 and a low of 30. And we're starting out this Saturday. We'll have a high of 48 and a low of 34. On Sunday, it'll be slightly cooler with a high of 46 and a low of 32. This week, it'll be a little bit warmer with a high of 53 and a low of 40 on Monday. On Tuesday, it'll be the same high with a low of 38. On Wednesday, it'll dip down a little bit with a high of 49 and a low of 36, with it being mostly cloudy. On Thursday, it'll heat up with a high of 60 and a low of 46. When we come back, Courtney had the chance earlier this week to sit down with Lindsay Solberg and Jared Feigenbaum to talk about homecoming.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Do you know what to do if you're stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. If a train is not approaching, find the blue and white emergency notification system sign on the traffic signs at the crossing. For help, call the number on the sign and give them the crossing number so they know your location and can alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back to Night Vision News. Wartburg College is celebrating our Homecoming and Family Weekend this weekend. Here to share more about this year's event are Homecoming Committee co-chairs Lindsay Solberg and Jared Feigenbaum. Lindsay and Jared, thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
So each year there's a theme. So what can you tell us about this year's theme and its meaning?
Yeah, so this year's theme, as you guys can see on the screen behind us, is Back to the Burg, and below it would be All Roads Lead Back Home. So Homecoming and Family Weekend is a great time for alums, family, friends of the college to visit the place that we all love so dearly, the place that we called home today, tomorrow, and many years before that. So it's a great time for family and friends to see what we call the place we love and loved in the past.
So as people come back to the Burg, what sort of events can they look forward to throughout the week?
Yeah, so starting on Thursday, we have Castle Capers performance at 8 o'clock. And then following Castle Capers, we have a coronation in the Newman Auditorium. And then after that, we have a pep rally in on the football stadium. And then
And after that, we have Friday night, we'll have the same Castle Caper show run again. And then following that, ETK comedian gearing up for the big day on Saturday.
And then on Saturday morning, we have the parade starting at 10. Following the parade is out on the campus lawn will be the Ren Fair from 10:30 to 2. And then following that will be the football game against Nebraska Wesleyan. And then Oktoberfest from 4 to 6:30. And then Oktoberfest pretty much wraps up the weekend events.
And then following that, on Sunday, there's worship concerts, church on campus, and a variety of small groups that you can be a part of, you can see in your program.
Okay, so clearly there's a lot of events for people to attend. So in your role as co-chairs, how have you gone about planning all of this?
Yeah, so me and Jared are the co-directors this year, and we have about 35 committee members underneath us, which are broken into 7 subcommittees. I oversee 4 subcommittees, and Jared oversees 3 subcommittees, but we say we're in charge, but without our committee's hard work, none of this weekend would be possible without them. So we really plug all of our energy into their hard work and what they do for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how many people are on the homecoming committee, do you think?
There's about 35 or so people, so it's a small group. We do a lot of hard work. They do a lot of hard work, and the alumni office and parent relations office has our backs, and so they are the ones that run, of course, Family Weekend from an office standpoint. So it's a great office to work with, and it's an honor to be able to work with these people and continue to live out the traditions that Wartburg holds of homecoming.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think homecoming and Family Weekend is so important for our campus community?
It really just gives an opportunity for our on-campus students to meet like alumni and families that put so much work in past years to make Wartburg great, and now we get to show them what we're doing on campus and like what's the same but also what is new and what's changing constantly. I think that's a really good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there something that either of you are looking forward to especially this year?
My favorite event during homecoming and family weekend is probably the pep rally. I really like to see students come out, get excited. On Thursday night, it's a great time to make some noise. We got some free giveaways, some free contests that students can be a part of. And ultimately, it's a great time to go out with your roommate, go out with your floor mates, kind of get involved and see everyone that loves Wartburg so much and why we love Wartburg so much, is really show our school pride.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy Castle Capers. I think it's cool to watch different committees show what they practice all year long, because they're not in, like, let's say basketball or football. This is their one opportunity to really show what they got, and I think that's really cool.
Well, awesome. We're certainly looking forward to a weekend full of lots of fun events. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank Lindsay and Jared again for coming in to speak with us more about homecoming and all that is happening. When we come back, we'll have more on Wartburg sports and the homecoming game, so keep it here.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down. It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl?
Oh,
you cool?
You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them. Go on, Kelly. Susie Awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to Night Vision News. I'm Annika Wall here to talk about Wartburg sports. 4 different Knights earned American Rivers Conference honors this week. Colin Schulte was named the Male Athlete of the Week and Offensive Player of the Week for football. He recorded over 100 receiving yards for the 3rd straight game by tallying career highs with 11 catches for 190 yards, in addition to scoring 3 touchdowns against Buena Vista last Saturday. His 653 season receiving yards ranked 2nd in the conference and 3rd in the nation. Sam Pinkowski was named Conference Runner of the Week after his first action of the fall. He won Wartburg's 22nd annual Dan Huston Invite and led Wartburg to a first-place finish past 3rd-ranked Washington University. Kate Lears and Haley Osborne took home the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week for women's soccer. Lears scored twice and owned 1 assist in a 7-0 victory over Buena Vista, while Osborne scored her first goal of the season in that match. This weekend's homecoming game will see the 11th-ranked Knights play the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves. The Knights are 5-0 so far in the season and have not lost a homecoming game since 2011 by 1 point to Simpson. The Knights will look to test their high-powered offense against a lower-tier conference opponent, as Wesleyan was picked to finish 7th in the American Rivers Conference coaches poll. For those unable to make it to the game, Night Vision will be live streaming the event starting at 1 p.m. We're not quite done with homecoming yet, though, as before the game, 8 individuals will be inducted into the Wartburg College Athletic Hall of Fame. That list includes 2009 graduate Akeem Carter, a 2-time national wrestling champion, another 2009 graduate, and Angela Elmshauser, a former pitcher for the softball team who was a 3-time first-team all-conference selection with a career record of 99-11. Joining them will be Joel Reynolds, a 2005 graduate and 3-time all-conference selection with the baseball team, Anthony Surata, a 2000 graduate and a 3-time all-conference selection on the defensive line for football. Also being honored will be Leon Wiebrand, who played both basketball and baseball during his time at Wartburg from 1950 to 1953 before joining the Armed Services. Joining them will be Aaron Wernemont, a 2009 graduate and a 2-time wrestling national champion, as well as Heidi Wiley, a 2007 graduate who was also the 2007 outdoor national champion in the 800-meter run. Rounding off the list is Ashley Winter, a 2008 graduate and a 4-year first-team all-conference volleyball selection, as well as the conference's MVP her senior season. Earlier in the week, the Wartburg men's and women's soccer teams took on the University of Dubuque with little success. 2 minutes into the women's game, sophomore Sarah Campbell scored Wartburg's lone goal off a corner kick. However, Dubuque scored at the 35-minute mark to tie the game. The Spartans also scored with 6 minutes left in the game to create the final 2-1 score. The men took a loss as well, as Dubuque scored their lone goal of the game at the 22-minute mark. Both teams will travel to Lincoln, Nebraska tomorrow to take on the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves. This week, Wartburg volleyball swept Simpson, but it was also a milestone for co-head coach Jennifer Walker, who reached 500 wins at Wartburg. Walker has been coaching at Wartburg for 22 seasons and is the program's all-time winningest head coach. Regarding the milestone, Walker said, "Last night was a fun night to celebrate Wartburg volleyball. Our 2019 team is made up of some truly wonderful players, but I would also like to recognize all those players who have been a part of this program for the past 22 seasons. The numerous players who have contributed to the success of the program in their time and who have helped build it into what it is today. I still have copies of all my rosters from each of my years at Wartburg. I enjoy looking back at them and remembering those players and teams and what the seasons were for us. 500 is just a number. It's the players that make the wins and the memories special." When we come back, we'll have a look at this morning's top stories.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Welcome back to Night Vision News. Everyone loves cat videos, and a camera in the lion's den at a zoo in Scotland caught a cute family moment. Lioness Roberta gave birth to a litter of cubs at the Royal Zoological Society of the zoo in June. She and her mate, Jayendra, are a closely bonded pair, raising their 3 cubs together. Here, Roberta is keeping her eye on the cub across the room, but check out the little guy sneaking up behind her, then landing a nip on her backside. Roberta takes the shenanigans in stride. The family are endangered Asiatic lions who used to exist across Southwest Asia, but are now only found in India.
Looking back on today's top stories, Wartburg College has crowned their homecoming king and queen. Professor Sam Stapleton is stepping into his new role as director of Wartburg's Chamber Orchestra, Commerce Striker, and the Wartburg College football team prepares to face off against Nebraska Wesleyan University for homecoming. Thanks for tuning in to Night Vision News.
To stay up to date with all of our content, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you for joining us today. For Courtney Moser and Alexa Ganzeveld, I'm Anna Kowal. Have a great week.